It really means a lot that you came to see me.
Kel Mitchell was recently rushed to the hospital. The reason why was a mystery, but now it's finally coming out. And the truth about what happened to him is pretty scary. Kel was rushed to the hospital on November 7th. He arrived at the hospital in what seemed like an alert state. He was conscious and able to talk. He came in through the emergency room and was ushered into a hospital room shortly after. Kel himself went quiet on social media, prompting fans to wonder if he was okay. His Instagram and other social media accounts continued to produce content, but it was mostly promotional material for his latest movie, Good Burger 2. Without Kel's direct involvement with his social media, some people worried that something might be seriously wrong. Kel remained in the hospital throughout the night and even into Wednesday morning. When he was released later on Wednesday, November 8th, the secret behind his illness was still undisclosed. Even his representative remained quiet on what had caused Kel to land in the emergency room. Kel finally took to social media to thank his fans for the support. He stated in an Instagram post that their positive prayers and thoughts, God, and the excellent medical team helped him recover. Kel was truly terrified by the health scare, but was moved by the support of his fans who flocked to his social media pages to wish him well. Now, at long last, we have some details on what sent Kel to the hospital. According to his post on Instagram, Kel was just out for a usual day of shopping on that Tuesday afternoon. While he was shopping, he started to feel as though the room was spinning. At first, he thought he might be dehydrated or even just hungry, so he pushed those worries out of his head and continued his shopping. But later, his symptoms only became worse. The right side of his arm and leg had started to tingle and feel numb. It was when he discovered that he couldn't swallow that he really started to worry. As anyone might, he ended up panicking and chose to drive himself to the hospital. Kel also clarified that he doesn't suggest anyone drive themselves to a hospital if they're experiencing intense symptoms like he was. It's good advice to follow since having a numb right arm and leg would make driving dangerous. Since he was panicking, however, Kel wasn't thinking straight. Luckily, he ended up getting himself to the hospital without incident. Once he arrived, he was taken to the emergency room where they performed a few tests to determine his body's status. One of the first tests they ran was an arm and leg reflex test. Normally, when the doctor stimulates your arm or leg, you move reflexively. Kel's arm and leg didn't do that. In fact, he couldn't move them at all. Horrified, Kel thought that his motor skills had somehow been impacted. As an actor, learning that at least half your body is no longer operational is bad news for your career. The doctor then performed a few tests on his body to determine the cause behind the lack of motor ability. He was put through CT and KEG scans. Because of the nature of these scans, Kel had to stay overnight at the hospital. It was probably difficult to communicate what was going on to his fans too when only one of his arms was working. Kel was thinking the worst. I wouldn't be surprised if he was even thinking that his career was over, let alone how he was going to be able to provide for his family. But the news he received from the doctor put those fears to rest. His motor skills weren't completely ruined. The cause was a bulging disc that was pushing up against a nerve in his body. The stimulated nerve was causing his arm and leg to go numb and making it difficult for him to swallow. Even the bulging disc itself wasn't too scary. He had gotten it from a previous injury he had endured. Doctors fixed the disc and the symptoms quickly disappeared. Kel was able to leave the hospital later that day. Since then, Kel has been recovering with his family, and he stated in the same Instagram post that he was feeling much better. He's been focusing on promoting Good Burger 2, which came out on November 22nd. Kel also promised fans more promotional coverage for Good Burger 2, which he was unable to share due to the SAG-AFTRA strike. Following the end of the strike, he is now able to share promotional material that he couldn't before. Many fans are excited for the sequel of Good Burger, which came out in 1997. The sequel follows Ed, played by Kel, and Dexter, played by Keenan. The plot surrounds Dexter's latest invention failure, which has him struggling to make ends meet. Ed invites him to work at Good Burger once more. Naturally, Dexter ends up causing problems at Good Burger that put it at risk. Fans will see familiar faces and new ones in the sequel, and likely a heavy dose of nostalgia too. But while Kel is best known for his work in Good Burger, he's actually been quite active as an actor. Most of the attention tends to go to Keenan, who has had a successful career on Saturday Night Live. But Kel has been doing well too since Good Burger came out. He's been part of projects like Robot Chicken, Mystery Men, and has even appeared in a revival of the kids' comedy show All That. Kel was also one of the first comedians to star in the legendary kids comedy show All That in 1994 alongside Kenan and Amanda Bynes. While Kel hasn't received as much time in the spotlight as his comedic partner, Kenan, he's still doing well in life. Aside from his ex-wife, Taisha Hampton's efforts to destroy his career, Kel married Taisha in 1999. They had a son, Lyric, together and a daughter named Allure. The couple seemed to have it together, but then things started to go south. The marriage wasn't meant to last. They ended up divorcing in 2005. As you might expect, the divorce wasn't pretty. Taisha spent several years calling Kel a deadbeat father. She even claimed that he owed her over $1 million in child and spousal support. They went to court to settle the issue, and the judge declared that Kel did not owe Taisha any money. He had paid what he owed already through the proceeds from the sale of the home they had shared together. That hasn't stopped Taisha from trying to ruin his name and career, though. She has frequently taken to social media to say that Kel hasn't seen his kids in years. Kel denies these claims. He lamented that following their divorce, he had to spend years rebuilding his past relationships and career. It sounds as though the relationship might have been toxic. The problems with his ex-wife have even dragged Kel's current wife into the nightmare. Kel married Asia Lee in 2012. Together, they have a daughter named Wisdom and a son named Honor. Despite Kel's attempts to move on in life with Asia, Taisha continues to be a problem for them. With Taisha claiming that Kel owes her money, she managed to get Asia's bank to put a lien on her account. Asia has had to go to court to have those liens removed. So the whole situation has been really messy. With the drama of his ex-wife aside, Kel has been focusing on his family and career. He has a loving wife, great kids, and has received more work over the years. Kel has also been working on his music. He has released a few rap and hip-hop singles over the years. While his music hasn't hit mainstream radio just yet, it has a strong following on social media and among his fans. Despite his recent health scare, he remains in good health. And with Good Burger 2 on the horizon, Kel might finally receive the praise and recognition he deserves. But what do you guys think? Were you shocked when you heard that Kel was in the hospital? And are you excited to see Good Burger 2? Let me know in the comments below.